Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga. I have been wondering and thinking of doing this a long form video or what I have seen and felt over the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. For all the fans who don't understand cricket, this is your point of reference. You can start now by hitting the subscribe button to Sports with Monga. The aim is to get minimum 500 likes, guys. 500 likes to kind of for the video and 1,000 subs before end of January. That's what I'm aiming for. I hope that's not too much to ask for from the Aussie fans, who I am very sure are going Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. But yeah, that's how it's ended off the test match, the Sydney cricket ground, poised for a decade of to witness a decade fall of the Indian cricket team, losing the Border-Gavaskar Trophy after a decade, with Australia beating India comprehensively on the series of 5 test matches. It's ended literally with 3-1. That's been the overarching score line, and it has been tough for India. It's been tough for I think it's been very tough for India overall. And it's very interesting to see how this goes forward as well. Perth was a different innings altogether. Perth, the match itself was different. It felt like possibly India would be able to save something, but the moment India did not have the moment India didn't have Jasprit Bumrah starting, it was done and dusted in my mind. Day 3, the match ended in day 3 itself. Like, I'm like, what the hell happened here? I was hoping for like at least the day to end and to kind of have a day 4. But Australia won by 6 wickets. The player of the match, Scott Boland, with a 10-wicket haul. Like, I wouldn't be denying him his match ball. Australia 180, India 185 first innings all out, 181 all out. Australia in the first innings itself. Back spasm problems from Jasprit Bumrah. He's taken to the medical center. It seems like he was advised that if he bowls again, he might be or more. He might cause more damage. It might have more serious impact that he kind of cannot even continue. But he's been out for any other series this year, and India's playing more series and more matches this year than before. He's been out for 18 months before as well because of the back issues that have sidelined him for a while. But he has been the pick of the bowlers for sure. But second inning started for India, 157 all out. That was it. At the end of day 2, India was 141 for 6 with Ravindra Jadeja and Mr. Washington Sundar playing, but that didn't hold too much after Scott Boland ensured that it was done and dusted. Scott Boland, Ravichandra Ashwin, Jadeja, Reddy, Sundar, Siraj, Bumrah were gone pretty much quickly. Pat Cummins, pick of the bowler as well after Scott Boland, who got a 6-wicket haul for 45 runs. Only if it was not for Rishabh Pant's 61 and 6s that he hit of Scott Boland, the average would have been better for Mr. Scott Boland, 2.67 and over. That's pretty good for a test match that ended in day 3. Sam Constas went from the start, but I think Australia knew the fact that it was no Bumrah time, there was no boom happening, so it was much easier for them to kind of tackle Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj. Siraj bowls his heart out, but then, yeah, it just didn't work for him. The game ended 100 in 27 overs, 162. The run rate was 6. They were scoring runs very freely. 4s coming very, very easy. Both Siraj and Krishna with an average of 5 more than 5.5 overs per 5.5 runs per over, almost like an ODI feel, I would say, and that's how Australia played it out as well. But that was, I would have been more than happy if the Sydney cricket ground would have, like, that's how it ended for India. But the series has been pretty prolific. I would say lots of love for Test cricket is back, and that's what I wanted. Loads of talking points as well. People have been talking about Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. The negatives are always there. It's a game, it's a sport. And me, as like somebody who loves the game, I like to commentate or give my review as well. So hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, guys. Sports with Monga, loads of content coming through the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Sports Champions League, everything that I would love to cover, that I like to watch. I like to speak about it as I kind of consume this content as well. So hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Thanks for watching. Let's get back into it. What did we see in this series? We saw that India can change lineups mid-series. We saw KL Rahul open in a couple of innings in the start of the test matches. Then we saw him not open, and which was funny then, because I was like, why are we changing that? But that's how sometimes it works, right? Like that's how it sometimes works. India was hoping, I would say, that against Australia in the first test, which India won by 295 runs, we saw India winning the first test match like massively, but then from there onwards it was pretty hard. Australia coming back in the series with a 1-1 after winning by 10 wickets, where India was like absolutely abysmal. And it's very interesting that you could feel that the momentum was with Australia after the second test match. The third test match was like drawn because of rains. I think Australia still had the upper hand there. There was a target of 275 for India, and I'm very sure it was not something that India could have chased down. And the wicket, with the overcast conditions, it's very hard. The fourth test match, it turned in the hour. It turned where India could have basically won the game, but they eventually lost by 184 runs. And again, it felt to me that the batting collapse in the second inning for India was to blame there, but loads of issues, because it was also the fact that KL Rahul was opening the innings in the first match, the second match as well, but then Rohit Sharma was not scoring runs in the middle. He was batting 6. He didn't score runs at all. The blow, like he just couldn't score. And then KL Rahul is brought to number 3 or like number 4, number 5. Rohit Sharma now starts opening the innings with Yashasvi Jaiswal. That doesn't work either. Ravichandran Ashwin, what a legend of the game, decides to retire after the second year after the draw, and I'm like, what the hell is happening in the dressing room? Like, Ashwin retiring, why is that happening now? Could that have waited? Should we have done something? And those are kind of like, I'm like, what's happening right now? And then Virat Kohli, Sam Constance, the young boy comes in, rattles everybody, shows everybody what it means to be a young blood, to somebody not thinking about the outcome, but just going after the bowling of Bumrah, trying his best. And then Bo Webster, another debutant for Australia, making his debut in the final test and actually scoring a half century, getting a wicket, taking a catch, everything checklist complete for him. That would have been the case. India, positives for India: Yashasvi Jaiswal, Nitish Kumar Reddy. I would say those are the 2 players that in my mind are the positives for India, and somebody then they can hope to take forward. It's obviously hard to see Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma struggle. Like, they were literally struggling. And Siraj, I would say, like, he just bowls his heart out, but he just doesn't get the results. Like, I love the fact that everybody can say that he's bowling from his heart, like, but I want results. And like, I'm like, what's happening there? Pat Cummins would be a happy man. And he basically said that there was so much external noise about it. Like, they had to they dropped Mitch Marsh. They dropped in the first match itself, the first Australia had to drop the opener for them. McSweeney was dropped. Like, he was just kind of abysmal. He was just not able to play anything. McSweeney was dropped. Mitchell Marsh was dropped as well. So it was not easy for Australia as well. But then they adapted better. The challenges that were thrown, they were adapting better than India. The batting lineup didn't kind of answer at all in my mind. Only for a couple of occasions with Yashasvi Jaiswal, Virat Kohli, of course, scoring 1 century. But then again, KL Rahul hitting the bat and so on and so forth. But then overall, it was a bad performance for India from the batting perspective. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they need to think of their futures. What needs to happen next for them, because it's pretty clear that both are not scoring. Virat Kohli on that outside edge from the off stump. I'm like, why are you just playing those balls? Like, come on, have some control, try and hold off, and you will get better. But then he just kept dabbling in those wrong areas all the time. And it was just so easy. It was like almost like he was gifting his wicket. And I'm like, that's not what I'm used to see of Virat Kohli. But maybe that's the end of Virat Kohli. That's the last that we've seen him in Australia. I hope that's not the reality. I hope he really plays another season. But that it almost felt to me like that. It was like coming ends of an era. Rohit Sharma, he's always being said like he's the selfless captain who will always put the team ahead of himself. But sometimes I do feel he has a newborn. He was not there for the baby as well for a long time. He goes back, a lot of contemplation. I think Rohit Sharma needs to kind of have a hard look in the mirror and say, is this my time done? Is it something that I can move forward? There's loads of cricket coming in as well. Like, it's not like that there is low series, but test match might be something that he has to move on. But India now get into T20 mode. They play England starting the 22nd of January. The 5 T20s and then the ODI series, 3-match ODI series before the ICC Champions Trophy match starts. And then the test in the summer starting from the 5 test match series. I think Virat Kohli stays for those 5 test matches and then decides what his year and future looks like. Rohit Sharma could be doing the same. If India win the Champions Trophy, though, that would be an ODI win. It'll be equivalent to winning the World Cup, but of course not the World Cup itself. But that kind of sets the tone for India in the future. And Virat Kohli is known for his comebacks. I'm sure he would have something prepared for that. Test matches, absolutely love them. 4:30 a.m. India time starting. But it was like, for me, it was like when I would wake up in the European time, it was much different for me. I was like starting almost I was watching the last hour of play, and that was very interesting for me to kind of watch as well. I would generally be kind of just up about the time the end of the day would be happening and almost at stumps most of the times. I love the test match. But I didn't like the post. As I said, the is loads of talking points, loads of people saying like no respect, like there's arrogance and stuff. Like, it's a game, guys. Everybody's pumped, adrenaline is high. These guys are like almost gladiators going on the field to play a very tough match, and that sometimes we forget as spectators. Thank you for Pat Cummins and Jasprit Bumrah. I think the captainship that they've both showed is revered. I really like the series. I really like the contest that was thrown from the Border-Gavaskar Trophy this season. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Loads of content coming through your way. If you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button now. Thanks for watching. Peace.